What's going on, guys? How you doing? I hope everything is going well. Um, man, these past couple of days since I made the last video, I was just doing a lot of thinking, and you know, um, I've been on this journey of soul searching and just trying to figure out, man, and just having these overwhelming emotions, and I, and it also began to think too, like, man, what should I do a next video on? Am I putting too much pressure on myself? Am I'm basically just overthinking again, like usual. And I was like, you know what? I think I got a video and idea, and I hope it's helpful and insightful. So, in this today's video, is going to be about improving your social skills. Um, you know, One thing I will say is just that you gotta accept yourself as you are, man, and follow your heart. Self-expression and being yourself and being who you are, just as you are, comes from the heart. Nothing external. Um, it's all within. Okay, I know you hear me repeat that a lot in my videos. So you just gotta release all this baggage, man. Watching these YouTubers and these, famous YouTubians, and reading all this self-help book and trying to improve yourself, I guess is necessary when you're on your journey, but at the same time, it brings a lot of self-consciousness and baggage on you. You know what I'm saying? And you just got you know what I'm saying. You got to understand that everything is a waste of time, and you're gonna die one day. So you could do as much journaling, as much meditating as you want, man. Um, it really doesn't matter. You just gotta learn how to put yourself out there and just talk to people. That's really the only way to improve at your social skills, is practice and put yourself out there. But there's some other ways too, and one way that helped me is reading out loud. You ain't gotta read like you're performing in a symphony or speaking in front of a bunch of people. Just find a little sweet spot, your voice, and just make sure you're reading and pronouncing your words properly. Um, that's one thing that'll help. Another thing too that'll help would be record yourself. You know, go in the bathroom, your room, close the door, go in your car, and make a video of yourself talking to the camera, and look directly at the camera. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have perfect posture. Relax. Don't be too rigid and stiff, but practice. Vent. You know what I'm saying? Speak your mind to the camera. And like I said, you don't have to post it or start a YouTube channel or anything if you don't want, but you know, you can do that as well. That that helped me, and I feel like it'll help you too. Um, Another thing is just be real, man. When you go out there into the world and put yourself out there, just be real, be honest, man. Just just be like, hey, I spend a lot of time at home. I spend a lot of time by myself. I'm just trying to uh, put myself out there, be social, and have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Go to the library, go on walks. And do things that require put your actively chase the nervousness and the anxiety. Put yourself in these types of situations to where you will have to socialize with people, even if it's just small talk. You know what I'm saying? And realize this one thing too. That you're never gonna really get rid of social anxiety. Understand what I'm saying? You just gonna have to build a better relationship with it. You're gonna have to sort of get used to it to the point where you figure out ways that you will tolerate, and it'll be more manageable to you. I hope I'm making sense right there. You know what I'm saying? And just try to just relax, dude. Stop trying to force things. Don't force the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Speak your mind, and don't worry about judgment and what people think too much. Don't try to anticipate what a person's gonna say and think. You know, just say what's on your mind and say what you gotta say, and just be committed, man. You know, you can't worry about, you know, ask questions, listen, and put the focus on the other person. Don't focus on yourself too much. But at the same time, don't try to figure out what the person's thinking or anticipate what the person's gonna say. You know, um, you don't want to be thinking too much. Matter of fact, I honestly say, man, go in there like a fucking retard. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be thinking at all. You know, just say. You know, think what you gonna. You know, think about what you're gonna say. But at the same time, don't think too much. You know what I'm saying? You wanna just be authentic and just be chill. You know, let it come with ease. Don't try to get the person to like you. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to uh, whether it's male or female, don't try to get a person to like you. No matter what, they're gonna judge you, whether it be positive or negative, because there's good judgments and bad judges. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Most of the time, they're gonna do it behind your back. But then you have those few where they may be talking to somebody else, and it may get back to you, and just brush it off, dude. That's my biggest thing too, because I'm in the process of trying to improve my social skills. But at the same time, it's kind of like when I figure out a person's judging me, or when a person's talking about me, I kind of it bothers me a little bit, but I don't dwell on it too much. So try not to dwell on things, and realize too, man, that you gotta dig into your past. How was your upbringing? Were you the only child? Did you stay in the house and play video games a lot? You know what I'm saying? Um, or were you raised with siblings or a lot of cousins and family around? Were you the only child and you was around a bunch of adults? Um, that plays a part in it too. Where did you grow up in a strict household, or was your household kind of loose to the point where nobody really cared about you? You know what I'm saying? Were you emotionally neglected? You know what I'm saying? So it's certain factors, and your environment too. Do you grow up in a very rural country, small town, or did you grow up in a big city? You know, me personally, it was a combination of small town, but at the same time, I cared a lot about what people thought about me, and I I was bad at choosing friends. It was hard for me to distinct the people I need to cut off and my fake friends. Well, fake friends, my real friends, and the people who I thought were my friends that I needed to cut off. So just sort of be mindful about that, and like I said, man, that right there should improve your social skills, man. Make sure you're surrounded by positive people, and when it comes to women, man, just step by step. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't take it personally. You know, Rejection just means they wasn't for you. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, don't take it to heart. Brush off the criticism and negative feedback. You know what I'm saying? A lot of advice, and this is too, on the internet and in the real world, a lot of people give unsolicited advice. Take that with a grain of salt. Even what I say, don't take it what I say is all factual and with a grain of salt, because we're in this together. You know what I'm saying? You can come to me just like a older brother, or you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not your guru or teacher or nothing, but you can talk to me. You know. Hope this was helpful or insightful. Thank you.